Hello, welcome back to JT Supercoach. Here's my accountability for the week. It's not looking great. I got 12.45 on the weekend last week. Probably should have got Suaf a long time ago. And then ended up captaining Herbie with a fair amount of other people. But I'm wishing I put that VC on Payne Haas. Um, didn't take any sort of loops. I had it on Latrell, the VC. Um, so far, it's doing all right, but I'm just happy where a lot of money is going to be made in the next few weeks because I think I've positioned well. Managed to snag Noah Martin before even round one. Um, and now we've got those Melbourne cheapies that are really going to make us a bunch of cash coming through, um, dependent on whether Sean Bloor comes back. Today, I was just going to go over some of the cheapies first. It's round three, and I think most people should be boosting this round. The recommendation is basically a bunch of people who are going to make a bunch of cash if they get through the game. And these break evens, I'm sort of looking at minus 50 as a benchmark. So if you get someone who's minus 50 who has decent outlook for the next 4 or 5 weeks in terms of job security, I think they're a must trade. There's a conversation between Joe Chan and Lasati. Lasati looks to have about 20 or 30 more base every game than Joe Chan, but Joe Chan does have that right hand side connection with Jerome Hughes. So you have to take into account the round one and round two scores as well. So both of them scored higher in round one, and in round two, both scored around. Well, Lasati scored 60 plus. Joe Chan scored around 50. So you're looking at the rolling average of the last 3 weeks. So round one is the first to drop out when you're looking at prices. I think that Lasati is the better super coacher. He has a lot of base, and week in, week out, he'll make you money. But it seems that he was the second choice when he came in behind Sean Bloor. Sean Bloor has been passed of all major injuries from the New South Wales Cup game injury he had last week. So he's going to play Cup again this week. We're not sure basically how long it'll take for him to get back, and it looks like Lasati is the one to go. I think personally, I'm willing to take the gamble. Um, Injuries can happen at any point. I guess the Noah Martin trade in taught me that, with Noah Martin having Matty Nicholson ahead of him, but he sustained a shoulder injury, has to go for surgery, and now Noah Martin is a no-brainer trade in that most people traded in last week. There's no news on how long it will take for Sean Bloor to get back, but if it's 1 week, I might have wasted a trade on Lasati. I think I'm happy to hold him there. There's less contention over the two RF spots rather than the center wing spots for me. So I'm finding it difficult to get Moses Leo in. The first round he got 95, and the second round he got 48. So in the first round he got 48 in base and power, and the second round he only got a base of 21. Um, we're looking at the scores for the next few runs, as it looks like he's going to need to score tries and get line breaks for those big scores from him. He's got Broncos, Cowboys, Penrith, New Zealand in Australia, and the Raiders. So it's not an easy next five draw for Moses Leo. Although he has a better job security than probably Lasati, at the moment, I think uh, Lasati's break even and his base. To me, I'm somebody who really values base, especially when you're looking to make money, because the scores being in a row matters a lot for making money. Yet for scoring, you can sort of have that up and down per week, um, and then sort of bounce back in terms of getting your scores back for the maybe a down week previously. But if you're not going to play them constantly, Like my center wing looks stacked at the moment. It's Carrez, Toto, uh, Herbie, and Latrell. There's not always going to be a lot of reserves on my center wings. So I'm more looking at it from a cash perspective. So I basically am just betting that he's going to go over for some tries. I probably want him to land around that 450, 500K range. And that's going to take a few weeks, right? So the next few weeks will be easy. Maybe Broncos, Newcastle, he goes over. Cowboys, he goes over. But Penrith, New Zealand, and Canberra might be a little bit difficult. Um, I know that if Lasardi can stay fit, stay in the team, he's going to go to 500 at least. It's just a matter of when Sean Bloor comes back. So if that's maybe 2 weeks away, I still get two price rises. He'll probably be around 450 ish if he just keeps chugging along the way he has. Um, that's why I've gone Lasardi over Leo at the moment. Also, my center wing is too stacked, and I think I would have to get rid of Keanu Kinney, who has a decent draw coming up. So, although out of all the center wing cheapies, Leo looks the best in terms of break even, it's finding it hard to put him into my team. This list from 1 to 7 is basically the rankings of who I want to get in. Um, Noah Martin, Suafalongo, I think they're musts. For number 1, Lasardi with the base he has, I'm willing to take a gamble and see that he stays into the team. Ryan Couchman is a bit weird. He had 50 minutes in both his games, but the second game, so last week, Toby Couchman got injured. He played around 30 something minutes, meaning that the other Couchman brother has assumedly taken some of his minutes, but the base is also crazy. Toby is listed to start this round as well. I think Ryan Couchman may get a few less minutes, but I think it's hard to pass up minus 65 break even for somebody who, if you know he's going to get minutes, he's probably also the next person to eat up minutes should another forward go down. I think it's worth the long to medium term hold. So that I've gotten Couchman in for this round. Aram Mahal, I got in last round. Yeah, he looks solid. 80 points, 80-minute second rower, and his base is okay. He's going to be a slowish burn, probably depending on him or Paseka. I think I'd be happy to play either of them week to week. I already have Joe Chan. He is priced at 309K, so he's a little higher than the others, so he's not going to make as much money. But I think he's sitting outside Jerome Hughes, and that has the chance to boost your points any given week by 27. Pretty happy with him. I put Mooney and Lukey at the bottom here, but I don't think I think that's just based on their price. They're solid, playable options every week. Unlucky I didn't get onto any of them earlier on. And I think that's why I've gone with the Couchman Lasati double 2RF trade this week, because I don't have some of these mid-range 2RF or front row forward guys. I sort of have Crichton, Yo. I have the top guys and basically cheapies. So I'm finding it easier to get the cheapies in my 2RF. Just quickly going over the rest of the break-evens here. Fina Fuiaki has scored 2 times in the last 2 weeks, I believe. Maybe even has scored a double on one of those occasions. He does seem to find tries, but I wouldn't bank on him keeping that break-even for more than another 2 weeks. Tanner Boyd as well. Warriors look all right. And if you're using him as a stepping stone to get to Nathan, I could see it. But it looks like you would already have one gun and maybe Ethan Sanders or Atkinson as the second halfback. I don't think Tanner Boyd is much of a trade-in. We're looking at Dom Young maybe. I don't think Newcastle is going to do too well in the next few weeks, considering Dylan Brown and both Dylan Brown and Ponga are out for extended periods, so it's going to be hard for Newcastle to keep finding its attack. Trindle backed up his high scoring round one performance with what we're used to. I don't think is an option. It's difficult. He likes to make a lot of calls on the Sharks team when Nico probably should have more dominance in terms of making calls. So he can have these huge games where he goes big, he makes calls, they all go right. I wouldn't say that he's a super coach though. Jerome Luai, I could see that. I could see Jerome, but he's still got 1 week before his price changes. And last year he burnt a lot of us. Basically, his game has never been that super coach friendly. That's why he's 465k from last year. To be seen, Tigers do look a lot better than they did. And I think the rest of Jesse Colquhoun is probably a hold if you already have him, but I don't think you should go out and get him. Harry Grant, I think you should go out and get for sure, and probably Pezzett if you don't have him, but everybody has Pezzett by this point. Next, I wanted to go over the top trades. First of all, for all coaches, Harry Grant, Reed Marnie. So yeah, I would 100% agree with that. Harry Grant is probably a must-have. Suafa-Longo for Kalen Ponga. Yes. Couchman for Kalen Ponga. Yep. Sua for Tino. I don't know. Everybody's got Tino. A lot of people have Tino in their flex or something, but yeah, that's 100% yes. So all of them have been. I mean, anybody for Kalen Ponga is probably a no-brainer. Sua for Sam Walker. Sua for Flegler. Yes, but I think Sam Walker could be a hold if you got a space for him in your team. Tino for Nathan for Tino. Yeah, I think Tino's minutes have taken a hit. He's listed in front row. I think as a lock, he probably got more minutes last year. All of these trades I agree with. And Ryan Couchman for Sam Walker. I think the least trade out of these would probably be Reed Marnie, if I'm to be honest. But if you need the space for him, you should get Harry Grant. I think that it should be Harry Grant and Reed Marnie, or Harry Grant and Brandon Smith. Those should be your hookers. There's not really too many other options I'd go with. Next, of the top 1% coaches, I'll skip over the Ponga trade outs because that's definitely got to be done. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks. 3, Ryan Couchman for Isaiah Yeo. I think Yeo, to me, he's almost getting 80 minutes. It's not that crazy. He's not a crazy option. He's not going to score a lot, but he will chug along, and I think he'll hold his value. So unless you're looking for 2RF spots to get rid of, you should probably keep him. I think if you have Lukey and your 2RF is jammed with Couchman, Lissati, Chan, yes, you can get rid of him, but I'd get rid of Angus Crichton first. So number 6, Ryan Couchman for Angus Crichton and Ryan Couchman for Tino. I think those two are two that I do before Isaiah Yeo. Probably Tino first, then Crichton, then Yeo. That would be my ranking. Lissati for Flegler, that's fine. Lissati for Yeo, I think I'm not sure about this one, Lissati for Yeo. Lissati could be out of the team within the next TLT. Bloor could come in for him. It's difficult, but yeah, I can understand it. And Tom Chester for Kalen Ponga. Yes, definitely. So looks like everyone's still got their head screwed in pretty well in terms of trades. Next slide, I've gone for something a little fun. It's me trying to do my tipping. I think first matchup, Thursday night, GIO Stadium, Raiders versus Bulldogs. I've got Bulldogs winning 26-18. I think Raiders haven't looked scintillating. Bulldogs, even with the noise around Bronson Cherry wanting to leave, they'll probably have enough attack to get the job done. Penrith versus Sydney Roosters, 6 p.m. at Allianz. I think Penrith defense has looked really solid. Roosters probably will score more than 8, but I've put 8 here just based on Penrith's defense. Then your 8 o'clock game on Friday, Amy Park, Melbourne versus Broncos. So this is pretty blockbuster matchup. I think that the Broncos are struggling defensively. Melbourne also just seems to be on a roll here. Melbourne 36, Broncos 20. Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m., McDonald Jones Stadium. Newcastle Knights versus New Zealand Warriors. I've got the Warriors winning this one, 20-10. I think neither team should have too many offensive weapons. I think the Warriors have quite overperformed in the first few weeks in terms of their strike weapons. Leka just seems to go over at will. I think they'll win semi-comfortably. Sharks versus Dolphins, 5:30 Saturday, Ocean Protect Stadium. I think the Sharks will probably towel up Dolphins here. Sharks have just been solid. They have attacked around the whole field. Dolphins' defense has looked feeble at times. I've got Sharks winning 40, Dolphins 24. Souths versus Tigers, Saturday night. This should probably be a high-scoring affair as well, based on how Souths ran away with round 1, and West Tigers ran away last week with quite a big score. I'm a Bunnies fan, but I've got Souths winning 36-28 West Tigers. Then Para versus St. George, Combank Stadium, 4 p.m. Sunday. Para, it's a home game, and we know that Para can put the points on. I think they're going to have a lot of points in them, but their defense is also a little bit suspect at times, which is why I've got it being a tight game. I think that Para just has more strike weapons than St. George, and they probably run better shape on their left through the hands. The last game we have is Queensland Country Bank Stadium, 6 p.m., Cowboys versus Gold Coast. I've actually got an upset here for Gold Coast. I think that the Titans haven't shown too much, but I think it's their time this week. Cowboys attack looks a bit disjointed. Some of their tries have just been sort of Lukey running through an injured Fletcher Sharp. Trinky has the rib cartilage injury, and he's basically like the point man for their attack. And they'll probably have trouble goal kicking as well. Clifford has been not great at the kicking tee, so they'll probably miss a few kicks there as well. So I've got Titans winning 26, Cowboys 14. And now we're doing my trades. So my team at the moment, I'm looking at trading Angus Crichton for Lisati, looking at Cooper Bai to Ryan Couchman, and Kalen Ponga to Sua Falongo. Sua is probably a must trade in this week. You just have to fit him in somewhere. Cooper Bai, you could probably hold on another week based on his 54 from last week. He's going to make money. I think his break even's -5, so he'll probably make maybe another 40, 50K. But Ryan Couchman will shoot up in price faster, and you're probably going to want him for the next 4 weeks at least. He managed to score well even against Storm, which is usually where the forward Supercoach scores go to die. So I'm happy with him. Lisati is the one I'm thinking of, Moses Leo or Lisati. But as I said before, I'd have to get rid of Kinney. I think the Titans are going to bounce back. It's tough. They've had a tough few years, more than a few years. You're just waiting for a bounce back. They look good when they're good. I guess when Jaden Campbell comes back, it's going to be even better. But you'd hope that without Jaden Campbell, Kinney is the one to start scoring the points, start igniting the attack. I think I'm going to give him a few more rounds. He looks like his base is slightly above slightly above his price at the moment, even. So it's hard to trade him out. whereas Angus Crichton doesn't look to be tackle breaking as much. He doesn't have the bumper bars up and he's not pushing people off. He's still getting the offload here and there, but he's definitely priced below. He's priced above where his base is. So I'd rather get Lasati in at 269k. So my team at the moment, I'll just go through my playing players. I've decided to play Reed Marnie. So Reed Marnie, Harry Grant, Payne Haas, Keon, Isaiah Yo, Fafita, Lasati, and Noah Martin. Mitch Moses, Cody Walker, Herbie Farnworth, Jacob Carraz, Latrell Mitchell, To'o, Makasini, VC on Sua Falongo, Tom Chester, and C on Keanu Kinney. That C might change, but Payne Haas at the moment is playing the Storm, so I don't really know about how that's going to go in terms of scoring. I do kind of want to get a shot off as well. My season rank is about 50,000. I think I need to hit where other people are not hitting. So yeah, I'll put the C on Kinney on Sunday versus the Cowboys. Let me know how your teams are going and let me know who you think I should trade in. Good luck for super coaching this week and see you all next week. Bye.